Now? Now can I go?
Go now.
Judd Zolgad, Jeff Dubé reacting to the Vikings' loss yesterday to Chicago, since we forgot to do it right after the show. Jeffrey, you've had not 24 hours, but a full night's sleep to sort of stew on this one. The Vikings, Les Frazier's taking blame for this. The defense gave it up at the end. The offense has frustrated many. Bill Musgrave, we have no idea what he's doing play calling-wise. Where do you assess blame hours now after this loss?
Most of it on the coaching staff and the decision that 3 is good enough. And I'm talking about the end of the game, the last drive, a touchdown puts it away. You go up 10, the game's over. I think the decision to say, it's 3rd and goal from the 3 or 4 yard line, they run it up the middle. If you are saying that 6 is good enough there, what you're saying is basically that your defense is going to stop the Bears on a 3-minute drive where they're going to go for every 4th down, where they're going to sling it all over the field. I honestly believe that if you give the team the ball and they need a touchdown in the final 2-3 minutes of a game and they're going to go for every 4th down. I mean, obviously, typically teams operate on 3 downs in the National Football League. You go 3 downs, you don't get it, you punt. In that situation, now teams operate on 4 downs. And when that's the situation, I bet you they score a touchdown more than half the time. I mean, as a matter of fact, I'm convinced that a team's going to succeed more than half the time in that situation, especially with a quarterback like Cutler and a defense like Minnesota's. So by saying we're going to settle for 3 here and go up by 6, I think you're settling for a loss. You're setting yourself up to lose a football game.
And the thing about this game is we talked about on Ventline yesterday. They go into Detroit last week, and the Lions tried to give that game away in the first half. They go to Chicago. Yeah. Chicago did everything they could to give this game away. It's not beyond question the Vikings should be 2-0. Let's talk about that last defensive lack of a stand by the Vikings. This has gotten interesting. Yeah. Leslie Frazier basically took the blame for this because Frazier defended the Musgrave play calling, but that's Musgrave's play calling. Frazier's a defensive guy. Chris Cook wouldn't talk after the game. The Aaron Henderson comment, we both talked about this morning, is very interesting.
Yeah.
For 2 reasons. One, basically said, we got a look that we didn't expect and hadn't seen. But 2, as you saw, they had seen it.
Jay Cutler was very frontal about it, as a matter of fact. He said it was a combo that they had thrown at the Vikings 4 or 5 times previously in that game. And he went so far as to say they're not going to like what they see on film when they go back to watch that. And also, help me out, the tight end who caught the ball. Martellus Bennett in the post-game comments.
Who didn't go out of bounds on the second to last catch.
No, he did not. But Martellus Bennett also made it perfectly clear in post-game comments that this was a play that they had run earlier, and he had seen that Chris Cook, the corner on that side, favors the receiver going up the middle, and that kind of opened things up on the sidelines. He said that that they had noticed that previously in the game, and sure enough, that turned out to be the key because you saw Cook take that step to his left that was fateful.
Cuts in, cuts out, and he was 1 step late.
Yep, that's correct.
And Harrison Smith, here's what I don't like too. Chris Cook wouldn't talk. 1, you should talk.
Yes, you should.
2, Harrison Smith talks and takes the blame, but we have no idea. We have no idea. He's going to take the blame. Frazier took the blame. In this league, if you're a good guy, you take the blame. It doesn't mean that you are to blame. It was interesting, though, you almost, from the people I talked to who were in the locker room after the game, Jeff, you almost had this sort of finger-pointing already with, we weren't ready for that, or guys are upset, they're 0-2. Frazier's taking blame for things. This is really important right now, going into next week against Cleveland, that this team restores confidence.
Yeah.
Because what do you have right now? You have a defense that played well in the second half, right?
Yeah, well,
pretty well.
Really good half.
But But when it mattered, they couldn't get the job done.
Correct.
So confidence is low there, right?
Yep.
The linebackers are playing terrible.
Terrible linebacker
Confidence is low there.
Horrible.
And as far as we can tell, there is zero confidence, and maybe deservedly, in the quarterback because they wouldn't let him throw the ball on an obvious throwing situation, and instead ran poor Adrian Peterson. Not on a play where you said, oh man, that didn't work. On a play where they ran him into the heart of the defense. Yeah. There is very little confidence in Winter Park right now, I think.
Well, and the thing that bothers me with lack of confidence in Ponder in that situation, and we've all doubted Ponder from time to time. I mean, it's impossible not to.
Right, I agree.
But if you watch the game, that's the second half of that game. He threw the pick 6 in the first half. In the second half, he was really good. I mean, he was making big time third down throws to keep drives alive, and he was showing you the athletic ability. He was making plays with his feet. He was showing a real dogged determination, I thought, on runs, like diving for pylons, diving for first down markers.
At least twice, right?
Yes, at least twice. So, I mean, we know he can. We know he's got some athletic ability. We know he can roll to his right, and we know he loves his tight ends. So, I mean, on 3rd and 3, I think it's an awfully safe and awfully effective call to have maybe a little play action waggle. Stick it in Peterson's belly, pull it back, have the linebackers converge on him, and now all of a sudden you roll to the right. And he's coming out to the right, and you've got a tight end like hopefully Rudolph, just running right alongside him, right like a yard deep in the end zone,
With him,
where you can either dump it off to him for an easy touchdown, or if the linebacker stays, it's a run-pass option. That's all it is. If the linebacker wants to cover the tight end, then you run to the pylon and you dive for it. If the linebacker comes up, you dink it right over his head, and Rudolph is there in the end zone. It's a good call. It's an easy call. It's a safe call. It plays to the strengths of your quarterback, and they didn't have the stones to call it.
The last thing, and we did not get to this on Ventline yesterday because of the Musgrave, Ponder, Carlson bashing, but this is the playtime percentage sheet for the game. I have one question for you that I want to close with.
Is it rude to chomp ice on the video?
No, I think it's fine.
All right.
I think it's just fine.
I think I'm sexually frustrated. That's what they say.
That's a whole other topic. That's a whole other show that we can do. Can I continue now?
Continue.
Where do I go with that?
Continue.
All right, so the playtime percentage sheet. Cordero Patterson starts the game with a 105-yard kickoff return, right?
Yes. He's
an explosive, dynamic young man, right?
Serious talent.
Rhett Ellison and Cordero Patterson both played 6 snaps in this game. That
fair.
ties for the fewest
That's fair.
offensive snaps. How is the kid playing?
6.
And by the way, he played 5 last week against Detroit.
He's 6 years old frustrated.
Joe Webb played 6. Joe Webb played 7 yesterday. Patterson played 6. I just don't get it.
I don't
6
get it.
snaps for a first-round draft pick
11
who's a dynamic player.
11 in 2 games. 11 in 2 games. And you said, if anybody ever doubted the electric talent this guy's got, I mean, just the game-breaking ability. I mean, you saw it in the opening kickoff.
But is this Musgrave and the
Yes.
It's almost
Yes,
like they
it's
want to be
Musgrave.
boring.
Yes, he does. That's
But
you
Did
nailed
he
it.
call Brad Childress?
Musgrave wants to be dull.
Did he
He
call-
wants to be conservative.
Has
Yes.
Brad Childress somehow gone into Musgrave's body and they're the same guy now? I don't get it.
I think they are. Yeah. No,
you want to be boring?
Bill Musgrave is a bane to this team's existence. I
But
mean,
how are you not doing things with Patterson?
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't.
What's he doing?
You're lacking explosiveness offensively, and you've got a guy who's got more game-breaking ability than anybody on the team other than Adrian Peterson, and you can't get him on
You know
the
what
field.
this is?
It's pathetic.
I'm not comparing Patterson and Randy Moss, okay?
Right.
But Bill Musgrave would have played Randy Moss early in 1998 about 5 snaps a game.
Seriously. Seriously. He probably would
I'm
have.
not kidding, and I'm not comparing, all right?
No, he would have
But
made him sit.
He would have said, Randy, you're not there yet.
No, he would have. You're right. He would have.
ludicrous.
It's ridiculous. He lives to be dull, and we will go over this more on the
Band
show.
name? Is that Lives to Be Called?
That's not bad. That's not bad. I don't think they had so many albums. But the bottom line here is, and we talk about it all the time, that Musgrave he's never been successful anywhere. I mean, what's this guy's track record?
As a coordinator,
he's never had success anywhere.
I think he's an okay position coach.
But he is overmatched as a coordinator, and for some reason has respect in this league that just is unwarranted.
All right, I think we're done.
We're done. It's a long one. It's 8 minutes long.
Judd Zolgad, Jeff Dubay. The show, of course, is Judd and Dubay. You can hear it on 1500 ESPN.
And Viking Ventline.
9 a.m. to 1 p.m. weekdays, and as Jeff just said, Ventline on Sundays immediately.
Which is available on podcast right now on the website.
1500ESPN.com. Immediately after games, Ventline begins. This, obviously, is us venting again.
We are going to
continue to vent, and we'll vent again on Monday, and we'll vent all week about the Vikings, but we're done for now.